Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we try and make big life moves a little less stressful and a lot more fun. If you're new here, hi, I'm Adrian, and today we're going to tackle one of the most exciting and, let's be honest, sometimes daunting decisions: buying a house in the UK in 2024. Whether you're a first time buyer or a seasoned property hunter or investor, you'll want to stick around. We've got like 10 essential steps that will help you glide a bit through the process with confidence. So grab a cuppa, maybe even a notebook, and let's dive in. First of all, get your finances in check. First things first, always money. I know it's not the most exciting part, but it's a bit like veggies, essential to your overall health. Before you even start scrolling at midnight through Rightmove, Zoopla, on the market, you name it, you need to take a good, honest look at your finances. Get pre approved for a mortgage. This means a lender or multiple lenders will confirm how much they're willing to lend you based on your income, expenses, credit rating, and so on. Knowing your budget saves you from the potential heartbreak of falling in love with a property that you cannot afford, which is bad with the missus, trust me. Step two, research the area. On to the fun stuff now. Once you've got your budget, it's time to choose your area. This is like kind of like picking your Hogwarts house, but with fewer spells and more parking permits. Make sure to research the area thoroughly, really, jokes aside. Check out crime rates, local schools, transport links, maybe even future developments that might impact your future home. Oh, and make sure you visit the area at different times of day and week before you make any decision. Trust me, that's a solid one. Street that's literally quiet, asleep on a Sunday morning can be more like M25 on a Monday evening. And hey, if you're a coffee addict like me, make sure there's a decent cafe around. Step three, that's another important one. Well, they're all important, but that's pre looking for a home. Know your must haves versus nice to haves. Those are two very different things. When you start viewing properties, it's easy to get swept away by fancy open plan kitchens or garden views or you name it. But just try and keep your feet on the ground, maybe. Unless you're looking for a penthouse, then keep them up. Make a list. Split a piece of paper in two. Make a list. Must haves, your family's must haves, versus nice to haves. And that's before you view any property. It's crucial, trust me. Do you need three bedrooms? Or you can compromise with two and a home office, say. Is a big garden essential? Or will a cozy patio do the job? Having these priorities clear will help you make the right decision when emotions start taking over. And trust me, it will happen at some point. Step four. Well, that's definitely optional. It's not very customary here in the UK, but it's still there in case you want to grab it. And I'm one of the very few specialized buyer's agents. So that's completely up to you. You can 100% buy a house without an estate agent on your side or with. Let's talk agents. It's just something we have to talk about because it might change the things dramatically. Oh, a good one. A good one's worth their weight in gold, really. Maybe you don't believe me now, but you probably will once you get to work with the sellers agents. They're good. They're well, most of the ones that stayed in business in 2024 are good agents, and they're representing their clients, not you. Don't you ever forget that. They always represent whoever is paying them, and that's the seller. Period. An agent can help you navigate all the legal and procedural stuff that, let's be real, most of us would rather avoid. So, in case you need one, make sure you choose one who listens to your needs and isn't just pushing for a quick sale. Just stay away from that kind of pitchy, salesy, pushy, old style agents. They just want to grab your money. You want a partner, not someone who just wants a quick commission. Right. But that's again, that's something you can avoid. Uh, Working with a buyer representative, with a house hunter, whatever you want to call it. You can do it on your own. Step five, this one you can't avoid. Get a good solicitor lined up. And what I mean good is one that's got quite a few reviews under their belt. Just check their reviews on Trustpilot, on Google My Business, wherever. You need to be able to trust them. They'll handle all the legal paperwork, all the contracts that come with buying a house, which, let's be honest, none of us have the time or patience to read in full. Make sure to choose one who specializes in property transactions and who's got, like I said, good reviews. It's not something you want to leave to chance. Because if there's one thing worse than paperwork, it's paperwork with mistakes. Don't you ever forget that. Step six, do not skip the survey. I'll say it again. Do not skip the survey. This one's a biggie. It might be tempting to cut costs and trust that everything looks fine on the outside, but unless you're Superman and you've got X-ray vision, and if you do, please DM me right now because I'm gonna hire you on the spot. You will not know what's lurking behind those walls ever. A professional survey will highlight any issues from like structural problems to damp that could cost you a fortune in repairs later on. It's like checking the engine before buying a car. You do that, don't you? You don't want any nasty surprises after you've driven it off the lot, really. So you don't want that with your home, which is so much more important than a car. Step seven, understand the additional costs because they will occur. Let's talk about the hidden costs of buying a house. Yes, unfortunately, the price you see on the listing isn't the final amount. You've got stamp duty. We'll cover that in a future video. Not for every property, but for some of them, you will have stamp duty. Solicitor will advise you on this one, and we will cover that in a future video. Legal fees, surveys, removal costs. If you're buying a leasehold property, possibly ground rent, possibly service charges, make sure you factor all of these in your budget. It's a bit like going to an all inclusive holiday and then realizing that drinks aren't included. Don't get caught out. Step eight, make an offer. When you found the one, and no, I'm talking, not definitely not talking about Keanu in the Matrix, it's time to make an offer. This part can be a bit nerve wracking, but don't be afraid to negotiate. The market might be competitive, but you still want to get the best deal possible. Be realistic, though. Don't offer way below asking price. You'll never get that, especially if the property is in high demand already. Your estate agent can help guide you on this. That's if you have one. Do not trust seller's agent. I mean, try and remember at all times during this painful process, but so fulfilling at the end, really. Never, as a home buyer, as a property buyer, never ever trust the seller's agent. I mean, I'm not trying to badmouth seller's agents. Do not trust me if I am the seller agent or anyone for that matter, because I will always represent my client and go the extra mile, go above and beyond to protect my client's interests, not yours, never yours. Right. Step 9, stay patient during the conveyancing process. Back to legal. I hate to break it to you, but once your offer is accepted, you're in for a bit of waiting game. This is the conveyancing process, where all the legal checks are done before the sale completes. It can take anywhere from like 8 to 12 weeks, sometimes longer, sometimes more, sometimes shorter. But be prepared. So take a deep breath. Make sure you've got plenty of Netflix shows lined up and try not to stress. Your solicitor will keep you updated on the progress. All you got to do is just keep calm and don't Google how to speed up conveyancing because you're never going to be able to do that. Step 10, final checks and moving in. Last but not least, before you get those keys and pop the champagne, make sure to do your final checks. Visit the property again, walk through it, make sure everything is in the condition you expect, the condition you've seen when deciding to buy that home. Once you're happy, it's time for the best part, moving in. There's a little tip. Don't try to do everything in one day. Take your time, unpack gradually, and most importantly, make it feel like home. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.